Hey guys, welcome back to JR14. Here I am with another video for you guys today. And today we're finally in the Mercedes and we're finally changing something that I did not like on this car from the very first time I got it, the head unit. So without further ado, let's get started with the video right now. Here we are in the car, right? So this is the stock head unit. Now, if you guys already know, if you didn't watch one of the previous videos that I made regarding the 5 things I absolutely hate about this car, please click in the upper right hand corner of the screen. But this is one of them, and this is the old Mercedes-Benz command unit center or command system with the navigation. Now, in 2009, this was a great system. I had voice acting control that works when it wants to. I have navigation. It's all tied into the, you have Bluetooth calling, but there's no Bluetooth streaming for music. I had to use an adapter to do that, which is in the glove box for the old audio port. And there's no Apple Carplay. Obviously, Apple Carplay didn't even exist. It wasn't even invented yet in 2009 when this car came out. So, unfortunately, it was great for its time, but this system's got to go. I'm going to be taking this out and we're going to be replacing it with an Android unit. I already know what you guys are saying, like, oh my God, you do all these head unit installs. This is something that, is a little bit more complicated in most people's eyes just because it is a Mercedes-Benz. But I'm going to show you that it's actually fairly easy. And again, it's the same plug and play system. It's very easy to install. Okay, so, I don't mind keeping the system by the way that it is. But for me, having Apple CarPlay, since I had it in my Volkswagen, I told you, and I make this promise, I hold to this promise. Every single car that I will own will have some form of Apple CarPlay. This is a new car to me, so this is no exception. I looked at a lot of research online, and there is a caveat to installing an Android system in this car, and that is the Harmon Kardon sound system. It does have its own special amplifier, and you need a module to communicate with that amplifier so that all your speakers work. Hopefully, this does go well. Because I'm a little nervous about it, but I found out there's a couple of ways you can do this without, having to cut and splice. So I'm actually going to go ahead and show you guys that as well. And I'm sick of using this. I use this. I put my phone on this and I use it Waze. And for most people, this is okay. But this is starting to get annoying. And I want a bigger screen. This is only a 6-inch screen or 6.5-inch screen. I'm gonna be moving to a 9-inch screen, people. We're gonna get rid of all the buttons. We're gonna get rid of all these knobs. I kind of wish it did have the volume knob, but I do have steering wheel controls that this unit will work with as well. So yeah. So without further ado, we're gonna show you how to take everything apart. I'm gonna show you things step by step, how to take everything apart. From my research of what I've done, this should be fairly easy, but usually when you read up on stuff, it usually isn't as easy as you read up on. People make it seem easier than what it actually is. But, I'm up for the task. So let's go ahead and start taking this car apart so that we can get this head unit out and get it replaced. Let's go. Before we get started, there's going to be some things that you guys need to know about what you need to do this install. I totally recommend you get some pry tools. You're definitely going to need these, especially in those tight areas where we're going to have to take this trim piece out along with the climate control. And I would recommend, if you don't have one already, you guys should know me by now with German vehicles. Considering the fact that this also takes e-sockets, I went ahead and got a Torx and external Torx and just regular Torx, a female external socket kit, and Torx Bit and female external socket kit. So I recommend you get these. It's very, very helpful because we're definitely going to be using the Torx today. And yeah, So, and you need a socket wrench, which I left in the trunk. So I'm gonna go grab that real quick and then we can get started. All right, guys. So first thing that we're gonna do is you're gonna just take everything out of your center compartment right here. So I have my charger, could throw that on the floor on the side. And you wanna be able to, like, you know, leave some space, because what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to close this tray up and then pull it back and open it and pull it at the same time. So, I mean, you really don't even need to do that, to be honest with you, but I'm going to do it because there's another part to this video that I'm, you know, not to this video, but there's another video that I'm going to be doing where I kind of want to take this apart because it's kind of a necessity. So, to do the job right. So I want to take this tray out. So you're going to need a T20. There's 2 T20 Torx right on each side of the coin tray on the bottom here, or the ashtray. So you're going to get those. They're kind of hard to get to, but once you're in there, you might need a extension slightly. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Just trying to get this to work in my favor because that might be a little too long, actually. Coming to think about it. That's fine. I don't know. Get an extension. Should be able to pull this out, close this up, and pull it out at the same time, and then lift up. And then that's it. It actually was a lot easier than I've seen in other places. You could take the screws out of this, but I recommend leaving them in because you don't want to lose them. Oh, here's the connector down here. So there's just a push tab connector. You push down and you pull straight towards you, and now you have this assembly out. We can move that to the side. Now the next step is you can leave this wire alone. There's a lot of gunk in here from the previous owner. We're going to clean that up later on. Right now we're just trying to get the head unit out. So the next thing is you got to remove the climate control. Now with the climate control, be very careful. There's clips on the side here, but this is like a wood, so it tends to crack. As I don't know if you can see that, but this wood normally cracks just in general, so just keep in mind of that. Don't pull down here. This is not supported by anything, so you can easily break it from there. What I would recommend you guys get a nice thin pry tool and then just go in between the wood right here and then pull towards you if you can. So give me a minute. And of course, this is never, it'll be more difficult if you've never taken this trim out before, and I don't think in this car it has ever been out before. Jesus. You just have to pull it back towards you like that. All right, so we did that side. And then you could just work your way. Maybe I could just use my fingers. Let's see. Yep, okay. So you can just use your fingers. That actually works a lot better. And then what you do is there's a little lip. So you pull down and you pull towards you. So there's some clips, as you guys can see here. You take the big one out first. Now, disclaimer, when you're putting everything back, I know this is kind of early in the video, but I do want to say it now. When you're putting everything back, you need the climate control plugged in, or you're going to get errors on the dashboard and errors in the car. And if you don't have an OBD scanner, you will not be able to get rid of them until you clear them, either through a dealer or with a scan tool that you would have. So we're going to just remove this little guy down here. All right, this guy over here. Yeah, so this, I don't know if you guys can see this. This big piece right here, this flap, folds over here, but you need to remove the little one first. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the little one. Once you push this gray tab down, the connector pushes up and out of the way. Here we go. So remove the big one first. Out of the way. Same thing with the little one, push up. Push up, there we go. And it all clicks in place. I like those connectors from Mercedes. So now these are free and you're good to go. This is your trim piece right here. And you know, again, spoiler alert, we're gonna be wrapping the trim in this car in the next video. So you don't have to do this step, but I'm gonna be removing the Torx bits from the back of this, and also for the controls down here, so I can remove the controls out, and then I can have this trim piece to wrap. And also we're gonna clean this area here and wrap that as well. We're not doing it in this video though. So I wanted to let you guys know that, not in this video. I'm going to do it in the next video, and I'm gonna show you what wrap I use and everything else. But going back to the video. So now you have these connectors. You can just push those in there out the way. And now you have two T20 Torx here that you have to remove. So we're gonna do that right now. Be very careful not to lose these, because you cannot lock the radio in place if you do not have these Torx bits. So just be mindful of that. I use the cup holder to put all the screws in, and each screw is kind of slightly different, so you kind of remember where they're supposed to go. All right, cool. So now you use the flathead screwdriver here. You push down on these tabs on each side. That's one, and that's two. Now you can pull the radio towards you. So now, just like that, the head unit comes out of the car. That's a big boy. Okay, so now you have a few connectors in the back here. One I'm really nervous about based on the way that it looks. But you have your rear view camera, your GPS, and I forgot what this yellow one is, but we're gonna figure that out in a little bit. I think that's the radio, but we're gonna take all these out. So first one's the big one. So all you have to do is push up on this connector here, lift up, and again, the whole connector comes out, and you can move that out of the way. I think this is the radio one right here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I gotta like really look at a couple more pieces. But all the radio installs that I've done don't require that at all. Oh crap, did I just? Okay, so one thing that you really realize, I don't know if you can see this red dot in here, you probably can't. This orange and purple connector right here, that's your fiber optic. Keep in mind of that. You're gonna need that later on. So that's your fiber optic. That's how that system communicates. The radio communicates with the Harmon Kardon amplifier to make all the speakers work. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and start continuing disconnecting. All you gotta do is just pull on some of these connectors. We'll start with this green one. This green one, I believe, is your rear view camera. This blue one, I believe, is your GPS. And I believe this yellow one is either radio or, give me a second here. These connectors are a little tough to get out sometimes. And again, if you don't know what they are, again, you know, like sometimes I don't know. Oh, now the sun wants to come out. It was pouring raining earlier this morning. And then the last thing, you just take this connector out, push down, push this gray piece over until it clicks, and then you pull that out. Now, you can remove the whole head unit. This tray down here is gonna stay, and that's it. Really simple. Usually, apparently, some people like to, you know, this was a family car. Like, sometimes kids put coins in the thing and you'll hear it jiggle, but as you can hear, no immature kids in this video. So everything with the old system is done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It's all completed. These are all your wires for the audio right here. I'm a little nervous about this fiber optic one because it's old. Be very, very careful with this wire. Do not break it. Do not pry on it. Do not pull it. Don't even breathe on it. Because if this breaks, this is a fiber optic cable. It's very, very difficult to replace and repair to get it done in the car. So just please, I beg you, mindful. There's a way to take this out and I will show you that, but do not yank on these wires at all. Take anything from the install. If you have the Harmon Kardon system, this purple and orange wire, do not yank on it, do not abuse it, just leave it be. So we got all these connectors here, we got this, that, and the third. Now, it's time for the new head unit, right? So very, very easy. This is actually this was easier than the Accord, to be completely honest with you. There's a few things that we have here. Oops, well, we'll put that aside. We have the harnesses. All these will plug back. This is for this. I don't know what happened. So Seicane, you know, shout out to them. They sent me a head unit that would work well with this car, and they gave me the decoder. This is called the MOST adapter harness, or the adapter module. You need this if you have Harmon, Kardon, Bose. They have special amplifiers that you need something to communicate to the amplifier to allow music to go from the aftermarket head unit to the speakers. That's what this does. This is the connector for it. However, I really wanted to do this install. When I got it, it looked a little deformed, and like your fiber optic cable goes in here. You have to splice this to, you know, some power wires and a ground, and this will connect to an aux out on your harness, which I'll show you in a little bit. I'm not going to use this one just because it's deformed and the clip is broken to use the fiber optics. So unfortunately, I had to buy another one, and I got this one from Amazon. You can get them from Amazon. It was not cheap. They're like $100 for them, but I mean, when you talk about having it being worth it for that. So this is the replacement. Same thing as that, it's just blue. Same connector here, which is in this bag, and then this will be where your fiber optic. You're gonna unplug it. There's a whole clip. This whole thing slides out, and it will slide in here. And it's shaped a certain way, so it only goes in one way, so you can't really screw it up. The next thing is a couple things you're gonna need that this kit did not come with. I want to use the stock or the OEM reverse camera. So I bought this initially. On this car, this is a female connector. You cannot use this. You need a male connector, which plugs up to this, and then it plugs up to your camera in port or out port on the actual head unit, which I will show you in a little bit. These are your USB adapters here, so you have those. And this is for your 4G and other, you know, accessories that you want, a microphone or anything you else want to plug up into the car. I'm not going to use, this one did not come with an aftermarket mic. I don't know why they didn't give me one, but it's fine. This will plug directly into this port right here. So that, very easy, very simple, clicks right into place, and it only can go in one way, so you can't really screw that up. This will plug into the main harness for the power for the radio, and this is for your steering wheel controls. This is another decoder that's for the steering wheel controls. Now, my mind serves me right. I should not have to teach this car the button controls. It should already know it based on the model year of the car. So hopefully that's the case. I'm praying that's the case. So yeah, so you're gonna figure that out. And this is all plug and play. This part's all plug and play. The only part that isn't is this piece. This is for the decoder. So like I said, you need a ground and everything else, which is right here. Me personally, I have T-taps. I'm gonna show you what I'm going to T-tap into, because I saw one video, he tapped into his main harness here. I'm weird about that, because if you screw your stock head, if you screw your stock system up, that's it. Like, it's it. You can't redo it. You can't retry it. I rather not even come close or near to that. What I will probably do is yep, I can see it already what I'm going to probably do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the decoder. So as you can see here, the steering wheel controls decoder. As you can see here, the MOST for the adapter for the amplifier has a red, yellow, and black wire. This decoder also has a yellow, black wire, yellow, black, and red wire. These are for the same thing in terms of how they work with the car. So I'm going to T-tap into each of these with this harness, and then everything else will be plug and play using the T-taps. So that's how I'm going to do it. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, then I can just repair it on the spot and we'll troubleshoot from there, and I'll actually have to put it to the harness. But I did see that a couple people just did wire it to the aftermarket harness, so you're not affecting the stock harness, and I like that way better. It's a little safer. So I don't want to really do that at all. All right, guys, unfortunately I have to do a little ghetto filming. My DJI Osmo Pocket 3 overheated because it is extremely warm in this car, and I can't use the climate controls because I had them disconnected. So I'm going to make this as painful as possible, painless as possible. Gosh, and this is also another wire here for the GPS. So now we're going to take out the head unit, And all we're gonna do is pretty much plug everything up. I'm gonna show you that, plug everything up to the head unit. And then first thing I probably would wanna do is I wanna start with the T-taps with this so that I can get this connected to everything else, to the head unit, and then start putting the head unit in the car. All right, so I went ahead and tapped into my yellow, my red, and my ground, my black. So now, all we gotta do is strip this out, strip these ends off, which are already pre-stripped, and then we crimp them down into these connectors, and then we slide each one into its own connector. So I'll show you what that process looks like. I mean, well, I won't show you what the process looks like. I'll show you what it looks like when it's completed. So this way you guys have a clear understanding of what I'm trying to do here. So let's give it a shot. All right, guys, so I crimped all these edges down here, patched them up with here. And all we have to do now is just plug each individual wire in, and we will have one complete harness. Once we do that, I'm going to then take out the fiber optic out of the main thing, and I'm gonna plug it into this box. And then all we have to do then is just after that's plugged in, I will go ahead and start mapping everything else together, and everything else should work. All right, guys, I wanted to give you a quick rundown on everything, as for everything connected, before I put everything back in the car. So we have I want to talk about a few wires that looked a little confusing to me along the way, and there's not much information in terms of what each of these wires do. So one of the things I really wanted to run down, there's 3 connectors that the OEM radio had, and I'll go through them right now. There's this yellow connector, this green connector, and this blue connector. These 3 are your antennas. So for the command system, the blue antenna is actually for your GPS. So that gives you your navigation and your compass, where exactly you're pinpointing on a map of what like direction you're going. The green wire is your antenna for your rear view camera on command when you put the car in reverse. This is the connector that I had to buy. I will link all this stuff. By the way, I'm going to go through everything, but I will also make sure that what I will do is I'll make sure that, you know, you guys get links to every single one of these down below. So just to let you know. So this green antenna right here, this is actually for your, like I said, for your backup camera on reverse. This yellow one is the only one that's not going to be used. This one is for the Bluetooth connectivity for your phone. And again, like I said, the old command unit is only for Bluetooth connectivity on phone calls. But this unit has Bluetooth built in, so we don't have to worry about that. These 2 connectors over here are for 4G if you wanted to connect to the internet, but I believe you can just connect wirelessly to this unit Bluetooth. Or actually you could use the 4G antennas to connect to Wi-Fi. Maybe one of them is a Wi-Fi antenna, one of them is a 4G. I don't know. But there's 2 ports that say 4G on here. Maybe that was, I don't know. I've never seen 4G negative and 4G positive before. But 2 separate antennas, which are here in my lap. I'm going to tuck those in away. Another antenna that you guys need to know is the radio antenna. I actually almost mistaken this for the radio antenna. It is not. Like I told you, this is for Bluetooth from the old system. Your actual antenna for radio is in this connector right here. This connector is not going to be used anymore at all, and I disconnected this white cable, which is right here. So you're going to plug this white cable into this black connector that then plugs into the radio unit here. I don't really care about radio, to be honest with you. I'll be predominantly using this for Apple CarPlay only. So you really don't have to worry about that. Again, on the bottom here, these are all your climate controls. This is the main harness to the car here, which I have to plug up to this. And your most, right? This is for the Harmon Kardon to work. So we do have the most module here. And then we have those 3 wires that power this into the main harness for the Android. I know in previous videos people try to tap them into here. I don't want to compromise the wiring harness for this. I really want to deal with that headache. Technically it has to get power here, and this is the harness to get power. If you connect these, technically you're getting the ground, you're getting the power, you're getting consistent power, or the, you know, by accessory power from this, which plugs into this, which runs to here. So I just tapped into this wiring harness here, and if this is an issue, I just have to worry about and this harness, and I can just put everything back to factory and everything will work perfectly. I was very, very weird on that. Wanted to make sure that I did that properly. Now, for the MOS system, you have the fiber optics that plug into here, and then the other cables, which are these two, these are your actual audio cables, is just for your aux in and left aux out and right aux in. You're gonna plug those to this harness, which is your aux left out and aux right out. That's connected. 4G connections are here. Your camera is connected here. Like I said, I have an adapter harness that this did not include, so I will put that in a link below. When you order any of these radios, you have to ask them to give you this MOS kit as well, because it's usually sold separately. Like I said, the other one looked like it was deformed. I don't know what happened, and I'm not trying to put that in the car unless if there's an electrical short or if there's an issue with it. So I just bought a new one from Amazon. I'll put the link for that down in the description below, and I'll put a link for this radio unit in below as well. So now we could just tuck the wires behind. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is the USB, or where I'm going to run those at. I have no idea where I'm going to run those in the car. I really don't need them, but I'm going to look for like a space that maybe I can kind of like force the wire through, maybe run it down underneath and just put it to the side or something. I don't know. I don't like wires exposed. You guys know that about me already. And then if I need to update it, unfortunately, I probably just have to pull it out, which isn't a difficult job at all. I really don't have to worry about it. It's fine. So we're going to tuck all the wires back here. This is the only harness, like I said, it's not going to be used. This connects to the radio. The radio is now connected to here. So you're good on that. I'm going to plug up the main harness and put everything back in. And then I'm just going to take off the control units here. And like I said, and I'm just going to plug these back in without the trim, because I'm going to be wrapping the trim in the next video. So yeah, so I'm going to connect everything back, and then once you see everything connect back, then we'll be good to go. All right, guys, so now we're back. If this works, this screen should power on when I put the key in and turn everything on. Should work. And it does. Great. We got it all to work perfectly. So freaking happy right now. Okay, so it takes a while to power up for the first time. Again, I have everything all messed up here right now just because of the fact I just want to make sure that everything works like it's supposed to. I'm going to connect my phone in a little bit and see Android starting. This is the first boot up, so it's going to take a while for everything to connect. And there it is. That actually wasn't bad at all. That actually really wasn't bad at all. Now, what I really want to check is, let's see if the steering wheel controls work. So the steering wheel controls automatically work. So as you can see, I'm tipping the steering wheel and the volume is going up and down. Okay, so this is my stuff right here. I can actually start the car real quick anyway. So now what I want to do is I want to connect to Apple CarPlay. All right, so we're gonna try to connect to Apple CarPlay first. So I want to hit Bluetooth. I don't think this is it. Hang on, let me go back. So I'm trying to find where, oh, CarPlay. I'm an idiot. It's right here. So CarPlay's right here. Connect your phone, Z-Link. So this is the new software. This definitely looks different. Connect your phone with this device. It shows the device name right there. Car kit. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect to that pair, and then now it should work. I'm hoping it's work. I'm so excited for this to work. All right. And it works just like that. Now, will it play music? It doesn't play music. So I need to figure that out as to why. So I'm not getting a connection from the most unit. So I do have to look into that. But other than that, everything else works like it should. But I need to look into that first and make sure as to why I'm not getting sound. So something with the wiring with the most, where I wired it to, is not working right, or maybe it just didn't get a good connection. So we'll take it apart and take a look at it, and I will update you guys. I'm not gonna take you guys through that process, so I'll update you in a couple minutes. All right, guys, here it is. Here's Apple CarPlay. Here's the head unit installed. Now, obviously, this looks like a mess right now because I'm going to rewrapping the interior in the next video is going to be me cleaning up the interior, wrapping everything. All this wood trim is going to be wrapped. So this is kind of like not fully together yet because I actually took out the wood trim here, and I'm going to be wrapping this as well as all the other pieces in the car, which is just the center piece here, the center console here, and everything else. But but I do have the Apple CarPlay. It does work with the Harmon Kardon sound system, and there's a lot of custom. Like, I actually wanted to show you one thing before we get off of here, is actually the customization. So obviously it's going to take me some time, but there's a lot of different ways that I can customize this: focus, surround sound, front and center, all this other stuff. So I have a virtual center, everything's here, a full equalizer here. The volume controls everything here, so I gotta play with it. I gotta play with it a little bit. We can go ahead. It has like literally everything, high pass filters, and I can, you know, SPK selects, and I can do all this. So it's pretty cool. I like this. It's gonna take me a while to set this up. I'm probably gonna connect with my boy G on this, Greg, because he's a music expert. He knows a lot about this stuff, so I'll probably connect with him to figure out like what should I tinker around with first. But it does work. The subwoofer, the surround sound speakers in the back work, and it looks like you can kind of customize them a little bit. I think they work in pairs. I don't know, don't quote me on it, but I do like the fact that there's a bunch of customization here that you can do, and you can set presets and everything for it. The only thing, now there are some gripes. There's some things that I don't like about this system, and I'm actually connecting with Seicane via email to figure it out. But I did have one. It has a connection in the back for camera in, and that camera in is supposed to be anything that connects to that port is supposed to be anything for video feed going in. So I actually have the factory OEM reverse camera, and I have a connector that connects to the factory harness to an RCA, and the RCA is for the camera in for this head unit. But every time I put the car in reverse, it recognizes to go in reverse, but it doesn't show me anything. I don't have anything displayed here. So I don't know if it's just because of the system not being able to work. I really don't know. So I gotta figure that out. Other than that, it seems like it's pretty good. I don't have any issues with it right now. I mean, like, I just installed it. We'll figure it out at another time. But, you know, like, but I mean, like, hey, listen, I got my Apple CarPlay. It's a nice high-res screen, which I absolutely love. You know, and it's just, as always, I'm happy with this head unit. As far as the way it looks OEM in here. Obviously, like I said, this is not pushed up all the way because I have this all not together yet. Once I get that together, then everything else would kind of like fall into place. But guys, if you did like this video, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to JR14. Give the video a thumbs up, and you guys always remember that cars are a lifestyle. Take care, guys.